Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, whichever part of the world you are in. This is Dr. Mrunalini Thorat signing in, sending super energies and positive vibes your way. Okay, now let's begin this session by taking a few moments to think about your most vital organs in your body. Those organs that you cannot live without. Okay? Got them? Excellent. You probably thought about your heart. I bet brain popped into your mind. Lungs? But did you think, my pancreas? I cannot live without my pancreas. I'm assuming most of you probably didn't. Beta cell burnout can happen to anyone. So watch out, folks. Take stock of yourself right now. We have amongst us one such Azad Parinda who has successfully reversed his diabetes of 15 years, has cleared IGT twice. To the ignorant, IGT means impaired glucose tolerance test, wherein your blood glucose is raised beyond normal levels, but not high enough to call you a diabetic. Fasting generally hovers between 100 to 125 mg per dl, and PP sugars between 140 to 199 mg per dl. So, without further ado, let's welcome our achiever of the day, Mr. Ram Menon, all the way from Dubai. Welcome, Ram.
Thanks a lot. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening. Good evening.
And thank you for the samvad session.
You look so smart and dapper today.
Yeah, thank you for that. You're being too kind and generous. Yeah, well, I've been in Dubai for the last 22 years.
Superb.
And I work for IT company. I'm responsible for the operations across the Gulf,
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. In fact, you have been part of our IRP 59th batch, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
56 years young, or may I put it this way, 56 going on 36.
Oh, thank you.
So tell us something about Dubai. What is it famous for?
No, well, Dubai is a multicultural city. And, you have people from all ethnics and all nationalities over here. So it's a melting pot, and the proximity to India is very close by. And rather, it's a hub for most of the countries, And what is good over here is primarily dates. Dates are very good over here. And a lot of the other things that are there, in terms of development, that has happened in the last 20 years is one of its kind, So when I came about 20 years back, there was no much development, I mean, now whatever you see today in terms of Burj Khalifa and Dubai Museum, etc., is all something that has happened in the last 22 years, yeah. So a lot of things are happening over here, and there's a lot of action over here. That's right. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Okay. So how has FFD helped you physically? Can you spell out at length for our viewers?
Yeah, well, see, a couple of things that have happened to me with regard to FFD in terms of benefits has been that I've been out of medication. I have taken 4 medications, when I was a diabetic, and then today I'm out of all the 4 medications. That is one, and I've lost about 15 kgs in terms of my weight. And there are a couple of other issues that I had. One is with regard to the acid reflux. In addition to diabetes, I had other issues also like acid reflux, breathing problems, mouth ulcers. Now, all that has got resolved right now after I got myself enrolled into FFD.
Lovely. Do you all want to see the transformation?
Yeah, I think you should show that.
Okay.
I don't recognize this guy.
Yeah, me too. In fact,
I don't want to see this guy.
I think it's long gone.
Yeah, he's long gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were a diabetic for 15 years.
That's right.
Medicine for 15 years and free from medicine since Feb 2019, and that too within 21 days. Amazing. Plus, you've gone off your cholesterol medicines. In fact, from the second month onwards, your cholesterol
Second month,
medicines
that's
will
correct.
stop,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
Yeah, so
That's
since
correct. Yeah,
March 2019, you were off your cholesterol medicines as well, correct?
that's right. That's correct.
The
That's correct.
HbA1c dropped from almost 8 to 6.2. Gosh.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you are 15 kgs lighter. From 89, you've come down to 74.
that's true.
And here you go. 15 kgs heavier and fit as a fiddle now.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah,
Amazing. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
That's right.
15 kg of weight vanished into thin air.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. To transform
Absolutely.
you into the best version of yourself today.
True, true, true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm feeling much lighter. I'm feeling good, and
I'm sure
I
the
don't know.
romance in your life must have got reignited.
Hopefully,
Information.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, no, but remind me to ask this
I-
question to your wife.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So just I wanted to share with you my diabetic journey. Is that okay?
Yes, please. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, I was a diabetic in 2014. And I kind of did the regular checkup, and that's the time when I was told that I was diabetic. And then I went to the GP, and then I was put on metformin. Immediately, I was put on metformin, and in this part of the globe, what they do that if you are a diabetic, they also put you on statin. That is for the cholesterol medication.
Yes.
Even if your cholesterol levels are, let's say, 190 or 180, they put you on a statin kind of a thing, which is a very unfortunate. But that's what happens in this part of the globe. So yeah, since this is a progressive disorder, when I was identified as a diabetic, I was the HbA1c was about 6.8,
All right.
and my cholesterol levels were about 180. And that's the time when I was put on metformin. And since this is a progressive disorder, the HbA1c started going up, and it crossed 7, it crossed 7.2. At that point of time, the doctor told me that, okay, let's change the medication. Then he gave metformin with linagliptin,
All right.
a combination of metformin and linagliptin. And that continued with statin also, coupled with statin, yeah. So that went on, and fast forward when you come to 2018, I had this, as I told you a little earlier, I had the acid reflux problem. I had this breathing related issues. And primarily acid reflux is because of, your body is full of acidic and it's not alkaline. And
Right.
breathing issues because of the inflammation that I was carrying around. I was carrying about 90 kgs,
Yes.
And that was too much for my body, and due to which, for acid reflux also, they gave me medication, and they told me to have it for 3 months, and 3 months I used to be okay. And then again, it used to crop up again. Again, I was given it for 3 months. And for breathing, I was given a puff, like something very similar to acetylene. I have to take the puff.
Yes.
If I have to climb some stairs, or if I have to go for, so it was a very painful journey. It was absolutely a painful journey. And the issues that followed along with diabetes was I used to get very irritated. Let's say around 12:30 in the afternoon during the lunchtime, the sugar levels used to drop considerably. That is because the metformin with linagliptin was a SR, sustained release. Due to the sustained release, at around 12:30, I used to get very irritated.
Hypo.
And I couldn't hypo, and I couldn't have any meetings between 12 and 1:30. So all my meetings were prior to 12 or after 1:30.
So your world revolved around the medicines.
Yeah, and that was the issue over there. And then the energy levels were pretty low. So that it's only the work time that is between 8 to 5 p.m. I used to work, and after that the energy levels are very low, and the patience levels were not there. Stress levels were very high. Okay. In addition to that, the acid reflux and the breathing problem and mouth ulcers. The amount of mouth ulcers because of sleep deprivation and because of not good digestive system, and there's so much acid in the body. I used to get a lot of mouth ulcers. So in 2019, I kind of graduated with 4 medications.
Oh my. Okay.
1 is for the diabetes, 2 is for the cholesterol, 3 is for the acid reflux, and 4 is for the bronchial issue. That is the breathing issue. Yeah. So before joining FFD, 4 medications. Yeah. And that was very painful. Yeah.
Can understand. Yeah. So let me do a quick recap. So diabetes medicine stopped within 21 days, right?
Yeah. So what happened? That's correct.
Second month, you were off your statins.
That's right.
Your acid reflux, your breathing problems also got cured in the process.
Everything got cured.
So all the diabetesreversals, omeprazoles, pantoprazole were kicked out literally.
That's correct. That's correct. So when I joined the FFD, I divided in two parts. So the first part was primarily got to do with. I said that I'll just I did the basic session with Dr. Pramodtripathi, and there was a lot of things to learn during that time. The knowledge was phenomenal. And after that, I said that let me enroll myself for 2 months. Because of my travel, because I have frequent travels. This was prior to COVID. So there was frequent travels, due to which I was not very comfortable doing that IRP at that point of time in Feb 2019. So I said, let me do it for 2 months and let's see what happens. So in the 2 months, the first month, within 21 days itself, my diabetes medication went out of the window.
Wow.
And the next month, the cholesterol medication also was out of the system. And then at that point of time, I said that I need to do the IRP. If I don't do the IRP, at least I'll come in for a residential program. Then the COVID struck in, and we all got into COVID. And that's the time when in June 2020, I said, no, I got time. I'm based out of Dubai. I can't travel anywhere. I said, let me do the IRP. So that's the time I went and did the IRP. I joined the IRP 59 batch in June 2020. And then I completed all the four, parameters over there, or the four modules that we call it as, the acceptance stage, the acceleration stage. Then you have the inner transformation stage and the athletic identity. As I completed the acceleration stage, I lost about 18 kgs. 18 kgs.
Lovely.
So actually, I went down from 90 to 72. And that's the time when my wife was telling me, yaar, tum bahut patla ho gaya, yaar, so ekdam kandi ho gaya tum, yaar, what is this, yaar, this is too much, yaar. Even my friends started saying, oh, there's something wrong. So then I had a discussion with my dietitian, Urjita, also. And then we said that, okay, you need to build your strength and stuff like that. And then she put me on anabolic smoothie. She said, you take the proteins. And then I kind of increased my weight to 74. And for the height that I'm carrying, which is about 6 feet, 74, 75 is the ideal weight that it should be there. But so today the drop is around 15 kg, as you correctly said.
Okay, superb. So 4 medications gone within
4 medication gone.
Yes, I wish I could visit. हमने एक के ऊपर एक फ्री सुना था, but you got lucky, mister. आपको एक के ऊपर 4 फ्री मिल गया. बिल्कुल. भगवान जब देता है तो छप्पर फाड़ के देता है. बिल्कुल. Keep going.
Everything went. It happened. Went very well. Absolutely very well.
Yes. So what was your first reaction when you were diagnosed with diabetes, or when you found out that your sugars were running high? जोर का धीरे से लगा कि जोर से ही लगा?
नहीं, जोर से लगा. The reason being primarily is that more than the diabetes is that the age that I got diabetes. I was very concerned about that. I got it at the age of 39.
Oh, very early.
Yeah. So that was an area of concern for me. Yeah, and because it runs in the family from the maternal side. So it was like, hona hi hai, diabetes to hona hi hai, from the maternal side, people are already diabetic, so ye kidhar jane wala hai? It has to come to me also, yeah. But the concern was I got it at the age of 39. I was expecting that I might get it at the age of 60 or 50 or something that way. Yeah. So that was an area of concern for me, And when I met the GP also, so this was in the mind, that it's because of the genes. So blame it on the genes. Okay. So when I met the GP also, I asked him where I got it at a very young age. The first question he asked me is, anybody diabetic in your family? I said, yes, from the maternal side, my mother was a diabetic. So, to yehi hai. So mother diabetic, tum bhi diabetic ho. Isme kya hai, yaar? I mean, see, I had this in my mind, but the doctor, kind of seconded it by saying, yeah, this is the reason that you got diabetic. But today, in hindsight, you see today, after the reversal, I mean, it's just a myth. It is not because of my genes.
Absolutely.
Precisely. It's just that I'm loaded. And I pull the trigger.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, that's what happened.
DNA has nothing to do with this. You just had to turn your genes into orals and get to work. Precisely. Yeah. So good. So in a way, I think COVID times were a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
Correct.
At least for me, yes.
Yes, probably you could try out newer paths, explore newer paths. Probably you were destined to connect with us.
Correct. 100%. Yeah.
So how did you hear about FFD and what prompted you to join us?
Yeah, well, see, when I hit 8, HbA1c 8, that was in 2019 beginning. I had only two options. I go back to my GP. I know what is he going to do. He is going to get me into the post-graduation course. That is, he might put me into insulin or some other tablets here, which is of no use here. It's not going to solve my root problem,
True.
And I was a little worried about my acid reflux and the breathing problem, and that was happening way too often, So that's the time I started browsing the system, and I saw a lot of videos of Dr. Pramod Tripathi and testimonials of the past participants also, But the conviction was not there for me to join, The conviction came in when I saw the video of Dr. B.M. Hegde, who's a Padma Vibhushan. And he has been highly talking about Dr. Pramod Tripathi and his program, When I heard him out, immediately I said, yes, I need to join this course, And I attended the first session after that, And then I split the entire program into two. One is I did the 2-month program and then got into an IA subsequently.
Okay. So you had no choice but to keep your options open.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So was your reversal journey bumpy or was it smooth sailing?
Yeah, well, it was bumpy in the sense that, initially, I was told, to drop milk and milk products, So that time it was a little, and I used to have non-veg also. Non-veg is not that something that I used to have on a daily basis, but at least once in a week, we have the non-veg, So, being a South Indian, filter coffee is a must for us, So, dropping milk is like it's like something, it was a little difficult for me. But yeah, I said that, when you reached a situation where the problems are bigger than the enjoyment, might as well, stick to the solving the problems, rather than having these enjoyments of having the milk and all. What is that? Go through the process for about 3 sessions or 4 sessions and see how it is benefiting you here. So that was there in my mind. I said I need to do it. If I've been told that you need to drop milk and milk products and you need to not have non-veg for a couple of months, I said let me give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Lovely. In fact, I can understand, when there's so much of temptation around you, and I've heard that you get the best shawarma in Dubai.
Yeah, shawarma.
Really.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So do you find any improvement in the fitness level now and then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That time of that, during the diabetes area, I was extremely lethargic, And I used to. It was not consistent in terms of my exercise and physical activities and stuff like that, But when I went through the process of FFD, and I came through the athletic identity stage, and that was a time when I realized that this is so important to my overall well-being, And you won't believe it, And during that period, we couldn't go to the gym also, because of COVID, The entire 18 kgs were dropped, or rather 15 kgs was dropped by just having a resistance band. 2 is a yoga mat, and 3 is a dumbbell. 1 of 2 kgs and 1 of 5 kgs. Yeah. Just 3 equipments in the house, going through a program done by FFD. I was able to knock off 18 kgs, coupled with the diet, which was been told by the dietitian.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. A while back, you had mentioned about your frequent travels. How did you manage to follow the protocol while traveling?
Traveling.
Follow at times.
Yeah, it was not an issue because in this part of the globe, especially the Gulf states, because of the expat population, Indian expat population, there are a lot of Indian restaurants, So if I go to Oman, or whether I go to Bahrain, or whether I go to Doha, or Middle East, or Saudi Arabia, and all, there was never an issue as far as food is concerned. Besides that, also there are certain Arabic food which is very, which you can take, like the hummus, falafel, baba ganoush. Baba ganoush is nothing but eggplant, aapka brinjal.
Okay.
So there are, and then you have the lentil soup and stuff like that. So you have the Arabic food also, and Arabic in over here they have a lot of greens. They have a lot of leaves. So all that is there. Besides that, the Indian restaurants also was there. So it was never an issue.
No problem at all.
Even exercise was not an issue for me when I used to go travel, because I used to take my resistance band and go.
That's the spirit.
And I used to do it in the hotel here. So it was not a problem. Yeah.
I love that.
It's all in the mind. Yeah, सब कुछ हो जाता है.
All in the mind. Yeah.
Yeah, सब कुछ हो जाता है.
So wonderful. Overall, your core fitness is improved. You can handle your stress in a better way, and you have more clarity in life.
That's correct. Yeah? That's correct.
Is there any improvement in the quality of your sleep as well?
Oh yeah, very much. It is there. The quality of sleep is very good now, because now I'm off to sleep at 10:30 p.m. in the night. Okay, and I'm awake at about 5:30 in the morning. Okay, and I get a complete sleep about 6-7 hours. Earlier it was not that way. I used to be lethargic, and then I used to keep watching the TV or keep looking at the mobile phone, etc., etc. And this used to go on for about 11:30. Get up at about 7 in the morning, and do nothing after that. And then you just have your breakfast and rush to the office. And the activities were very limited at that point of time. But now it is different. Yeah, totally different. Yeah, automatically auto sleep at 10:30. Done. The day is over. 5:30, I'm awake in the morning. 6 o'clock, I'm with my exercises. 7 o'clock, I'm out of the house. That's how it is now today. It's
That's
very, very, very
commendable.
well planned discipline now.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's commendable. You will definitely serve as a source of inspiration to many others like you. Like we always
you.
maintain, energy follows intention. If your
That's right.
intention is
That's right.
right, energy will automatically get mustered up behind you.
Correct.
Can you repeat
Correct.
after me? Energy follows intention.
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 Great.
Thank you.
Did your friends and family, wholeheartedly support you, or did they try to dissuade you from joining? Were you told to stick to conventional methods?
Yeah. Well, with regard to that, I just need to talk about my spouse. That's my wife. So when I was a diabetic, I used to try some home remedies. Like methi ka pani, and that used to go on for 3 months. And she used to keep it. She used to tell me, "Kya stunt try kar raha hai yaar? Methi ka pani kya hone wala hai isse yaar?" Then I used to do karela ka juice. 3 months of methi ka pani, then karela juice. Again, one more new stunt are you trying here? What is this here? Okay, and that used to go for 3 months. Then jamun ka season aata, jamun khata tha. See, all this I used to have. There were no consistency. Benefit to hota tha, bahut kam benefit hota tha, but there was no consistency. Yeah. So when I was planning to join the basic session, and I told her that yaar basic session ke liye ja raha hu, she said one more stunt. That's what she said. Aur ek stunt karne ja rahe tu. I बोला यार ठीक है यार, let's treat it as a stunt only. Yeah, but if it goes through, it was good for me. If it doesn't go through, I mean, if I'm out of my medication, nothing like it. Yeah. If I'm not out of my medication, I take a U-turn and come back and go back to the GP. Yeah. So she said, okay, fine, fair enough. Let's collectively go ahead and go through the sessions and stuff like that. After the first month, when the medication was dropped after 21 days, we were all zapped. Totally zapped. How did this happen? How did this happen? And that's the time when she turned around and said that, yes, I need to support this guy here. Okay. And then when I went in for the IRP 59 batch in June 2020, I had wholehearted support from her. And that is very important, because when you get into these kind of programs, you need to have your family supporting you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Family support is foremost. Yes.
Right. Then I told her, abhi stunt nahi, abhi reality hai. 18 kg nikal gaya, 15. My HbA1c has come down. Now this is not stunt. This is reality now.
So being there, done that.
Been there, done
very
that.
adventurous
Precisely.
person. Yeah. In fact, you took a shot in the dark, which fortunately for you, hit the bullseye.
Right. No, but, ma'am, there was no option, doctor. There was no option. Either I go for the post-graduation with the doctor and he'll say, okay, lagao, insulin lagao, ye lagao, dawai badao. Who wants to get into that here?
Yeah. Plus, you managed to convince your wife and your daughter, both.
Yeah. That's right. I put them on smoothie also, yeah.
Oh, wow. Great.
Yeah. They're also on smoothie. Even today they're on smoothie, yeah.
I must tell this, all the men watching now, you must take your cue from him. You could manage 2 girls.
Right.
You could manage to convince 2 girls in your life.
Yeah, that's right. So
let's move on. Right now, you are independent without any app support, right?
Yeah,
what is your current regime?
My current regime is that I start off with a smoothie in the morning, but only thing is that with the smoothie that I have right now, I'm not using palak. I'm using cucumber. Okay, and then I do my the breakfast is dal based. It's a combination of dal based and sometimes idli and vada and stuff like that. My lunch and dinner is the 25-25 formulation. That is 25 of dal, 25 of salad, 25% of some veggies, and 25% of grain. The only difference right now, the grain is either I take white rice or I take chapati. Earlier, I used to take brown rice and I used to take kapli wheat, kapli chapati, when I was going through the program. Yeah. But right now, I'm having my regular white rice and the chapatis here, regular chapatis here. And the numbers are fine. Absolutely, the numbers, there are no issues with my numbers here.
So for everyone out there, kapli wheat is MO wheat.
MO wheat.
Or you can call it Bansi wheat also, yes.
That's correct. And coming to the physical activities, I do a 3-2-1. So 3 days I'm doing cycling, that is stationary cycling, which I do for about 8 to 10 kilometers, followed by strength training, followed by breathing. And for 2 days I do yoga. And in the yogasana, I do the regular yogasanas. And once in a month, so whenever I'm doing in 2 days, it is 24 yogasanas I do. Once in a month, I do 108 yogasanas.
Wow.
Yeah. And 1 day I do walking, regular walking. That's where the current diet and the physical activity regime is concerned here.
Okay. And since you are an athlete at heart, what have you picked up as an athletic identity?
Athletic identity, what I picked up is basically the cycling part of it,
Enjoy
which I'm doing now for 8 to 10 kilometers. Okay. And that is being done thrice a day. So that takes about 25-30 minutes kind of a thing for me, 25 minutes to cover about 8 kilometers kind of, it takes for me. And then followed by strength, So I do cycling and strength thrice a week. So that's the athletic identity for me right now.
Lovely. Okay. So which phase did you enjoy the most?
All the 4 phases. Okay. In phase 1, that is the acceptance stage, my medication went away. In the acceleration stage, at the end of the acceleration stage, my weight dropped. I lost about 15 kgs, 15 to 18 kgs I dropped over there. And to handle stress levels, the inner transformation came into play. Right? And for overall well-being, athletic identity was there, So at any point of time, there are these 4 modules. So whenever you feel that you're in trouble, pick up any of the 4 modules. If you say that you've got some stress issues, get into the inner transformation module. And you know what to do exactly in the inner transformation. So all the 4 has benefited to me, but I enjoy the athletic identity.
Yeah, of course, since you are an athlete at heart. Right. Yeah. Now that you have reversed, what are your future goals?
Future goals is basically I've got 4 of them. One is I want to crack the GTT. I have done IGT twice. So abhi yaar rank 2 se maja nahi aa raha hai. I want to hit rank 1 now.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 बार rank 2 हो गया, अभी rank 1 try करना है यार.
So even if it doesn't,
हाँ, उसके लिए कोशिश करेगा. If it doesn't happen, happens. It's okay यार. That's no problem. But I'll give it a shot. Yeah. So second thing is that well, I'm doing right now 108 Surya Namaskar once in a month. I want to see whether I can do it twice a month. Yeah. Third thing is that I've been doing cycling. I want to see whether I can start doing running. Yeah. Whether I can do 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers. I want to give it a shot and see what happens here. And the fourth goal is that I have done IRP. I have done mentorship for batch 67. This started immediately after I did my reversal program, And the gratification I got during that point of time was phenomenal. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
And there was seven participants over there. Out of the 7 participants, I guess 3 are out of medication, and 1 is out of insulin. Okay, so that was the program. I really enjoyed that. So I want to do it once again in year 2022.
Would you like to give any takeaway message to our audience?
Yeah, takeaway message is simple. The first thing is that type 2 diabetes is reversible.
True.
Definitely reversible. Is the question what percentage of reversible? It could be 50%, it could be 60%. In my case, it was 90%. I cleared the IGT twice. If I clear GTT, it will be 100%. Yeah. So it is reversible. Second thing is that blaming the genes is we should not be doing that. If your parents are already diabetic, then it is better to go and get yourself checked. If you have checked, it is primarily for the age between 30 and 50. Where they don't go and check. So my request is that if your parents are diabetes, they should go and check. They should go and check because your system is already loaded.
Yes.
You want to see whether you pull the trigger or not. If you pull the trigger, then you need to get into solving the problems. And the third thing is that those people are already having mobility, issues, diabetes issues or cholesterol issues or hypertension issues. I think they should identify a good dietitian, a good exercise expert, and it'll be good if there's a synchronization between them. It'll be very good if there's a synchronization between them. So because what I found under FFD is that The program is very structured. It's extremely structured and very integrated. Structured in the sense that you got 4 modules over there. And it is integrated so that is reason is that everything is in one app, you know.
True.
So the doctor is connected to the dietitian is connected to the exercise expert, and you have a mentor also, you know. So all 4 are connected and they know exactly what is happening to you as a participant, you know, as in the program, you know.
True.
So when the dietitian is recommending something, the dietitian has already seen your blood sugar, which has been recorded on a daily basis. And vice versa, the doctor is also aware of what you've taken the previous night, you know. And if you have a problem, you can always, with regard to physical activity, you can always ping in the exercise expert. And I had that instances where I went into a Zoom call with Shubhankar. I had a cervical problem. I had a frozen issue problem, frozen shoulder problem. And they helped me out. They said, okay, you avoid these exercises. Bending down, you avoid bending down. Taking your hands up, you avoid that. And so you do these kind of exercises. So all this is under one umbrella, you know. It makes a lot of difference, you know.
It does. It does. We work.
It makes a lot of difference. Yeah. So, you know, identifying a dietitian and exercise expert is fine, but I don't know whether they're in sync or not. You know, you have a GP who is definitely not in sync. Well, his job is only to give you additional medication. You know, so this is what happens outside. But in this program, everything is structured and well integrated here.
Great. So thanks, Ram.
One final, if you don't mind, you know,
Yes,
I want to finally thank
yes.
the support I got from FFD and Dr. Tripathi also. I mean, they have been a catalyst to the freedom journey of mine. I want to thank everybody in FFD. Thank you so much.
Many thanks for joining us today, Ram, in spite of your busy schedule. You spoke straight from the heart.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
So the message for you from Ram is loud and clear. Give your 100% and reap the fruits of your labor. Identify your triggers. Focus on why you wish to change. In short, set better goals and sink your stress levels. Friends, diabetes is never going to leave you feeling your best. Let me ask you this question. Would you like to be more energetic, less anxious, have a better memory, better skin, better sleep, most importantly, more joy? Reversing your health would change your life for good. Feeling overwhelmed? Don't fret, we have you covered. Journey of 1,000 miles always begins with the first step. You have the knowledge and you have the power to fuel you into greatness. जाते जाते एक शेर याद आ गया. अर्ज करती हूँ. साथ अगर दोगे मुस्कुराएंगे जरूर. साथ अगर दोगे मुस्कुराएंगे जरूर. प्यार अगर दिल से करोगे निभाएंगे जरूर. राह में कितने कांटे क्यों ना हो, आवाज अगर दिल से दोगे आएंगे जरूर.
क्या बात है.
On that note, this is Dr. Mrunalini signing off. See you out. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you.